Ready to reclaim your energy and your focus in midlife? I mean, is it even possible? Absolutely. And I have got some ideas for you to help you reclaim what I call your true energy. And that is the energy that you actually have naturally, without caffeine, without sugar, without that stress-induced adrenaline to help you focus, and then getting to the night and eating something to help you calm down so that you can actually sleep, but then you're not getting a really good night's sleep. And you're waking up exhausted only to do it all over again. If you're ready to change that cycle, let's get into it. Welcome to this episode of the Ignite Your Life podcast. My name is Laura. If you're new here, welcome. I have been a life coach and yoga educator for over 30 years, specializing also in wellness, because that is such an important part of living that really complete, healthy life. We have to take care of our bodies and minds with intention. In 2024, so last year as of this recording, I took the whole year to have a year of, I called it the year of Thrive. And I was taking a deep dive into my midlife wellness, as I call it. Because I found once I hit late 40s, early 50s, all the things I had been doing for myself up until then, and I was steeped pretty deeply into wellness, it just wasn't working, not in the same way anyway. And I realized that things changed for me, and they do change. When you hit midlife for women, things change. And I needed to figure out what was working for me now. What could help me get my sleep better, get my relaxation better, get my energy focus back, all the things. And I am now doing a whole series of videos sharing all those things. So I've already done the one on sleep and relaxation. I will link below to all of them so you can check them out. And what I'm doing is sharing the best of the best. What are the things that I found really move the needle for me? And I really do believe sleep is the place to begin, because if you're not getting a good night's sleep, nothing else is gonna fall into place. And then I did relaxation next, because a big piece of not sleeping at this stage is you have to relax more deeply and be more intentional with your relaxation, because we're more sensitive to cortisol, the stress hormone. Now we are at the next stage for me, which I consider important, is our energy and our focus. And while they are different, I do find they go hand in hand. I do feel like when you have focus, you have energy. When you have energy, you have a little bit more focus. That's not always true for everybody. So I will share the things that really helped with my energy and a few things that are specifically for my focus, just in case you have one and not the other. For me, they pretty much go hand in hand. So what I wanted to do was find what I called my true energy. And that is like my genuine physical energy, not masked by adrenaline in particular. That is my drug of choice, but also caffeine. I don't use sugar as much, but I know others do. Mine was caffeine and adrenaline. And then allow myself to rest when I needed to rest, rather than masking it and further caffeinating it and adrenalizing it so I could keep going. Like, I wanted to find that true energy and then maximize it. What could I do to help myself feel more energy? And I got receipts, because my watch, which is a Garmin Lily watch, tracks my energy levels. It has what's called a body battery. And I don't fully understand it, but it's remarkably accurate. There's only been about 3 times where I thought, that's really not accurate. So yes, I will be showing receipts, so to speak. You can see here, this is what it was like when I first got the watch in 2023. And in fact, actually I got it in the fall of 2022. Hey, editing Laura here. I realized when I was editing this video that I didn't actually describe what this graphic means. So let me pop it up again. And the white balls at the bottom indicate the lowest energy. So that's at the end of the day. So you'll see that I kind of flatline here. And then the blue one represents the highest charge. So this is what I woke up with, the highest charge that I got during the day. So you don't want to flatline, shall we say. And it wasn't until January of 2024, so the start of my Thrive year, that I realized you could end the day with energy. I'm not kidding. So You generally charge at night. That's when you charge the most, is at night. You can charge during the day, but you have to really like sit down and relax and well, at least I do. I've heard other people can charge having a lovely conversation with a friend, but I just, again, adrenaline is my drug of choice. So I have to do a little bit more to relax and to recharge. But your primary recharging time is at night. And then you use your energy during the day, which you're supposed to, and the battery will go down to 5 and up to 100. Now, I did not know for the first 16 months having the watch that you could actually end the day higher than a 5. I had always bottomed out, and usually bottomed out by noon or 2 o'clock. And then I was pushing through my day. And I was talking to my sister and sister-in-law who both have the watch. And my sister-in-law was saying, well, I charge better if I can end the day with at least 20 points left in my battery. And I was like, wait, hold up. You can end the day with energy? It was so eye-opening. And that was when I realized I want to work on this. And I have gotten to where I can actually end the day with quite a bit of energy. I don't do that every day. And it's mostly when I'm in the middle of doing my resets where I'm really focused on doing good things for myself and drinking lots of Ningxia Red. I'll talk about that later, that I really rock that out. But I can end the day with energy more days than I don't now. And that is a huge improvement. And I did want to point out that all the things I do to help my energy. Like I feel better and I feel like my energy lasts longer, but it wasn't until I did the reset and drank lots of Ningxia Red that I actually got this burst of energy. It was amazing just to experience it for the first time, to realize what I'm capable of. And so now that is my baseline. Like that is what I'm always working toward, is ending the day with energy. And being able to recharge fully during the night so that I have a full battery the next day. So if I haven't yet talked about the reset, I will share about that reset soon, and you can find out more about it down below. So what I want you to think about is we wake up every day with a limited amount of energy. Okay, think of it as 100 units, and you could think of it as 100 on your watch. Okay, you've got a limited number of points that you can use. And everything you do either adds to your energy or takes away from your energy. Think about that, right? And some takes away a ton of your energy, and some takes away a little bit of your energy. And most days, you don't wake up with 100 units. Most days you wake up with significantly fewer. There are days I've woken up with the 5. I didn't charge at all. That often happens with alcohol. Okay, I do not charge when I've even had a single glass of wine at night, especially if I've had 2. My stress levels stay really high all night long, and I do not charge at all. And I wake up with 5, and I'm feeling completely dragged out and exhausted. And there are certain things that might surprise you that drain your energy much less than you think, or vice versa. For example, I can do a really intense workout, maybe a 30-minute sweaty aerobic workout, or I'm lifting really heavy weights, and I go through maybe 5 points, maybe 5 units, whatever we want to call this. And I'll sit at my desk and I'll be doing something fairly easy for work, but I'm getting myself wound because that is what I have traditionally done. I'm working on unlearning that. And I can lose 20 points in half an hour. I mean, it's just, my energy plummets. Stress is a significantly greater drain on your energy reserves, okay, than a physical workout. And in fact, physical workouts then lead to a better night's sleep and creating more resilience for you so that you can get your battery up. So there's not only the short-term benefit, there's the long-term, because also you feel energized afterward. Okay, so in this video, what I want to do is share the things that I shifted in order to improve my energy. Mostly it's things I added that help improve my energy, but then there are some things that I have taken away because they drained my energy. And what I want you to do is I want you to think about each one, and I want you to figure out where you would begin, because you want to start small. You're not starting with all of these, Okay, you just slowly build. I took a whole year and I'm still working on it to just begin to refine here and there, refine a little bit more, a little bit more. Hey, I can do this, I can shift that. So as I go through the list, then definitely keep track. Which one would fit you right now? Which one would be the easiest for you to begin? And I would love it if you comment below, because I would love to cheer you on with this whole process, because it is so worth it. And I would love to know what you're going to be doing. So if you're ready, let's get into the list. The first two things I definitely recommend beginning with, because there really is they are the most important, and that is great sleep and relaxation. So I've already done those videos, so you might want to go check them out, but sleep is where you recharge. And we're talking really good, solid sleep. So you've got to get into that deep sleep in order for you to really recharge well. And then relaxation, because stress is the biggest drain. Oh my word, it's amazing to me. The things I can do, I think, wow, that probably really drained me. And it's like, whoa, that was only 4 units. But sitting at my desk or handling something that was stressful, we drove through a snowstorm a few weeks ago and I plummeted like 50 points in about half an hour. The stress was so intense. So handle your stress and get good sleep. And those two go hand in hand, because when you're well rested, you can handle stress better. And when you're relaxed, you're going to get deeper sleep. Like, that is a beautiful cycle you can begin that will make all the difference. Okay, number 2 is letting go of energy drains. So start to pay attention to the things that really drain your energy. I had a couple of toxic people that I needed to let go of, and it was time to let go of them. It was not a good relationship, and I just realized how much I drained when I was with them, and it was time to let them go. The other thing you want to work on are the energy drained tasks. So these are the tasks that are in the back of your mind. I really should do this. I really should do this. I really should be doing this. And it's in the back of your mind, but it's, even though you might not be aware of it, it's always going on. The analogy I always use, when my husband and I first got married, we lived in this apartment with this ginormous window air conditioner that was so loud. And after a while, we didn't notice it. But when we turned it off, it was like, oh, I felt so good. I just remember we would even say, oh. And even though we weren't hearing it anymore, we were. And it was draining our energy. So take a moment to think about if any of those tasks that are draining your energy that you need to either tackle or let go of. I don't even need to do this. So holiday cards used to be a big drain on my energy. I really need to get it done. I need to get it written. Now I need to get it mailed and blah, 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 blah. And about 10 years ago, maybe 12, I had a really rough year, and I just said, I am not doing them this year. I can't do this. And it felt so good. I have not done them since. And I'm okay with that. Especially now with social media. People are on top of my life. I don't need to be sharing anymore. People don't need to be getting a holiday card from me. Or if it's something that's on your mind, like another one for me is keeping up with our financials and keeping them up to date. Now, don't worry, our bills get paid. My husband does the day-to-day financials, but I do the annual for taxes, and often it gets left till the last minute, and then I have a year's worth to do, and it gets so stressful. It's on my mind all the time. And now I set aside time every couple of months to get it all up to date. So it's so much easier, and I don't have that noise. Like, I know when it's going to get done, so the noise isn't there. So just think about if you have any tasks that are weighing on you and whether or not you need to just let go of them, or really figure out when you are going to get them done so it doesn't drain your energy anymore. You know, I should also add, I have not put these in any particular order. I have a hard time putting things in order, because even if I did it in order of the things that affect me the most, besides sleep and stress, because those two are the biggest for everybody, it's universal. Everything else I feel like affects everybody differently. And you want to tap into really the easiest one for you to begin with. Like, start where it's easiest. I cannot recommend that enough. People often feel like they want to tackle the biggest thing first when it comes to making changes in your life. You know, have you ever heard the eat the frog first? It was a book written where you tackle the hardest job first. But when it comes to shifting things in your life, everything you do gives you more energy to do the next thing. So it's not eat the frog first. It's start with the bowl of ice cream, right? The easiest thing to do, because then you're going to get more energy and you're going to feel more excited to do that next thing. So that's what I want you to do here too. Okay, number 3 is food. There's a couple here that you want to think about. First of all, hydration, obviously. At least I'm going to say it's obvious. I will say that research does not support that dehydration leads to fatigue. Well, there's confusion out there as to whether or not it does, but it is a huge one for me. And in particular, drinking first thing in the morning. Like I get up, I brush my teeth, I scrape my tongue. I definitely recommend tongue scraping. That's for another video. But then I drink a solid 20 ounces of water before I eat breakfast. So while I'm working out, as I'm getting ready, I drink that water, and that makes all the difference. If I miss that, I can never catch up during the day. Like I always feel a little bit like I'm lagging or I'm thirsty and I just can't quite drink enough. And then I do about 60 to 80 ounces a day, and you can play with what fits you the most. Everything counts, by the way. Tea, coffee, juices, they don't count for 1-to-1. Like 8 ounces of juice, think more like 6 ounces of fluids, 5 to 6 ounces. That's what I do anyway, because it's not a pure rehydration with it, but it does count. And keep yourself hydrated and just pay attention to yourself. It tends to be a really easy place for you to begin by just getting a little bit more water. Now, the second thing with food is to start paying attention to how certain foods make you feel. Now, in general, vegetables and protein tend to give you energy and help you focus. Carbohydrates tend to make you feel a little bit groggier. Let me say refined carbohydrates. So, like bagels and breads and, things like that. Pay attention to how you feel. So for breakfast, for example, I like to have protein and vegetables at my breakfast, but I also need a little bit of carb because otherwise I get groggy if I don't get a little bit of carbohydrate. It feeds me. So it gives me and keeps me full. So pay attention for yourself. Make sure your lunch is something that is really fortifying. I love to have a salad at lunch. That just keeps me bright in the afternoon. And then at night, that's when I will have more of the carby things because then I'm tired afterwards and it helps me sleep. So it's a good time to consume it. So just pay attention for yourself. What helps you feel good? What makes you feel a little bit groggy? And it's just one of those things to keep in the back of your mind as you go forward through your days now. It's like, wow, I don't feel well. What did I have for lunch? I wonder if that's something that's not good for me to be eating at lunch. Number 4 is exercise. Now, I have a lot to say about exercise at this stage in life, and so I'm going to do a separate video on that. That's the next one coming out. But in relation to energy and focus, what I found really helped is to start walking in bits and spurts throughout the whole day, especially if I could do it outdoors, if I can do it outdoors with the fresh air. Not so much right now. It's winter here in Minnesota. It's very cold. But I have a walking pad and I can turn my desk into a walking desk and I just walk slowly. If I can go outside, I do a little faster stroll, not really a speed walk per se, just a little bit faster and get the blood pumping a little bit. And that has made all the difference. I try and do 3 to up to 5 different walking sprints, if you will. And sometimes it's just 10 minutes. But just to get myself going and moving, and I'm telling you, that is so great for helping me tap into that natural energy that I have. Number 5 are essential oils. Now, essential oils can be an incredibly powerful tool to help support, all the systems of the body, but also just to brighten your brain, if you will. My favorite ones, I'm going to share my 3 favorite focus ones. One is peppermint. This is number 1. I love to have peppermint in the car when I'm driving. In fact, we'll diffuse it in the car when we're driving. I'll diffuse it if I'm really trying to focus on something. And I just keep it on my desk to breathe it in whenever I need it. And I can put a little bit in my mouth as well. And it just helps me focus. I mean, it's fantastic. Another oil I really like to put in the diffuser is Clarity. Clarity is fantastic for focus. It's a blend from Young Living, my brand partner. It has all these great focus oils like rosemary in it. So good for the brain. You can Google that. There's a lot of research out on rosemary for the brain. And then the other one is NRG, ENRGEE. And this is a blend that it helps support your energy levels. So it helps you feel a little bit of more invigoration, if you will. And the beauty of essential oils is they're quick fixes, right? You can just put it in the diffuser. You can just breathe it in, and it can help you in the moment stimulate your natural energy, which is what we are going for here. And again, all of these oils are from my brand partner. I will link below so you can check them out if you'd like. Number 6 is to start your day well. So you really want to get that day started in a way that helps you feel like you have energy. So one of the first things you want to do is get sun in your eyes, like expose yourself to sunlight as soon as possible. It's supposed to be within the first 30 minutes of waking up, but we don't have sun for the first 2 hours after I wake up here in Minnesota in the winter. So I actually have one of those sunrise clocks that have the wavelength of sunlight, and I love it. I will link below to it. It is fantastic. When it goes on and I look into it, my brain, I can feel it flicks on, like the grogginess goes away. And have it set so it slowly brightens every couple of minutes. It gets a little brighter. And by about the third burst, shall we call it, I'm awake and I'm ready to go. And it also diffuses oils. So I have one, it diffuses 2 different ones. So in the morning, I have it diffuse a stimulating oil, and at night, I have it diffuse a calming oil. So I will link below to my clock. I definitely recommend it. But other things you can do in the morning too is some sort of stretching or physical exercise, just going for a walk if you do have sunlight. In the summertime, I have sunlight, and I go for a walk first thing in the morning. Drinking some water, anything you can do that really helps your body feel like you're awake and you're stimulated. It turns on the body, it turns on your brain, and it can make all the difference. Now, it could take you 5 minutes. We are not talking a huge morning routine. I have a huge morning routine. I have the luxury of doing that. I work from home. I can give myself an hour of walking and weightlifting and whatever it is I need. But I'm telling you, I've had many years when I haven't had that, and I just do a few minutes, and it can make all the difference. Just be intentional. Figure out what it is you want to do, when you're going to do it, how you're going to do it, all the things, so that you can easily slide into it when you are feeling groggy, because that's when it's really easy to just roll over and go back to sleep, right? But if you know exactly what you're doing, when you're doing, it can make all the difference. Last but far from least are supplements. Now, again, I just want to remind you, I did not put these in any particular order because everyone is going to want to start someplace different, and everything is going to affect you differently. But I will share that these supplements were game changers for me. So as I shared earlier, I was doing monthly resets. So in 2024, every month I took 2 weeks out of the month to really dive in. It was a little too tiring to do it all of the time. So every month I chose a focus, and for 2 weeks I was dedicated to that, whatever it was, with the hopes that it would continue. You know, the habits I'm trying to start would continue after. Some did, some didn't. And one of the things I did is I started taking more of these supplements. So the first one is Ningxia Red. Now, Ningxia Red is an antioxidant drink from my brand partner, Young Living. I've done 2 ounces a day of it for 12 years. And it definitely helps. But for the reset, I did 12 ounces for the first 3 days, 6 ounces for the rest of the time. And that is the first time that I ended the day with energy. Like, hello, thank you. And if you know anything about antioxidants, what they do is they support your body's natural balance. I was finding my foundational energy. It's got no caffeine in it. It's just that energy that is naturally mine when the body is functioning more fully, up to its full capability, or at least closer to its full capability. It was amazing. And you can see I took a picture of my watch to share with you. I was so excited. Not only that, it's the first time my watch, my battery reserve, showed my body battery, energy reserve, you know what I mean, got to 100, was on Ningxia Red. Like, it was amazing. And it's so strong that I've gone from 2 ounces a day to 4 to 6 ounces every day. And then periodically, if I feel myself a little drained, I go back to that 12 ounces for 3 days and 6 ounces for 11 more. And it just pops me right back up. The other supplement I started using, well, there are 3. So the next one is nitro. It helps with focus though. And there's a tiny bit of caffeine in it, just the same amount as a cup of green tea. So a little bit, but it helps me focus. And I'm telling you, it's like the shade goes up on my brain. And there's all sorts of good stuff for your brain, like Korean ginseng in it and some other really good things that are great for your focus. And I don't do this one every day, but probably 4 or 5 days a week when I really need to get things done, I grab one of those. And in fact, when I started recording this video, I was hemming and hawing and redoing, and I was like, oh my God, this is taking forever. Nitro. I took a nitro, stepped right in. I've pretty much been a single take ever since I took it because I can focus. I can think. It is so amazing. So the final one that I added, and I did this in my reset in October, it's the first time I used this, is the Inner Boost and Balance. And this one is for cognitive fitness too, for your brain and for energy. And I found that this one has been so helpful for my energy levels in particular. Like, I just feel better when I take it. You don't feel jittery. There's no caffeine again in it. It's just, this is full of nutrients and good stuff. And I just feel more energized. I use this pretty much every single day now. I mix it in with my Ningxia Red. And then I take a nitro if I need it. And I wanted to share about these 2 in particular because my sister, who feels like she can have, remember how I was saying energy and focus really go hand in hand with me? They don't for her. And that was actually the first I learned that they could be separate because they're so hand in hand for me. But she finds the Inner Boost and Balance gives her energy and nitro gives her focus. So if you're looking for one or the other, you might want to consider doing, picking one or the other for that. But I love Inner Boost and Balance. It's been amazing. And then nitro I take periodically whenever I need that added little boost. Okay, so these are all come from my brand partner. There's a reason they are my brand partner. They have changed the ball game for me. Link below to all of these things. There actually is a starter bundle with Ningxia Red and Nitro in it that is a phenomenal bargain. So that is a good place to begin. If you want to learn more about the reset, there's a link below, and you can also contact me if you want more information and you're not finding it. We don't do it every single month anymore. The next round will be in March, and our focus is on energy and focus. So it's a good time to do it. So we do different topics now when we do the reset. So you can feel free to join us for our next round. And there it is. Those were the main 7 things I did that made a huge difference. And I know it's tons of stuff, but I wanted to give you a really complete list so you could pick what you think would work best for you. Where could you begin? So I definitely recommend starting small. Find that little thing that you can start to do. Write it down. Have a check off so you know whether you've done it each day. It's so helpful to keep yourself honest and accountable, so to speak, because it's amazing how you can feel like I've done it every day and you've really only done it 3 times over the last week. I do that all the time. And then add to it. What is the next thing you want to focus on? What is the next thing? Find your true energy. It's in there, and it might take a little bit of time. Be patient. This is not a one pill and you're better kind of thing. When you're looking for your foundational wellness, that baseline for yourself, it's going to take a little bit of time. It's going to take a little bit of unwinding the habits that are affecting you negatively, bringing in the habits that are going to affect you positively. Be patient. Hang in there. You've got this. I promise. Thanks for joining me. I hope this information has helped. Definitely comment below with whatever tip it is you want to tap into, and stay tuned because my last video of this series is going to be on exercise. I'm going to talk a little bit more about what I just started to introduce in this video. What is the best exercise for women of a certain age, if you will, because you too can thrive in midlife. And trust me, it is worth it. I am here to rock out the second half of my life, and I'm not going to let fatigue, poor sleep, stress slow me down. See you in the next episode of the Ignite Your Life podcast. Thanks for joining me.